Sometimes in life you make real bad decisions. I guess this must be one of them. Or not. What is going on, everybody? This is California Caldoon, and I am here today with the G Wagon. That is right. I've got a 2014 G63 Brabus. Well, not really a Brabus, but it's got Brabus kit on it. G Wagon. I'm about to tell you why this monster right here is actually a pretty damn good investment in 2021. That's right. Buying a used G Wagon, even if it's a 2014, can be a very good investment. And you're about to find out why. A little guess. Supply and demand, people. Supply and demand. So let's get started. So before we get started today, I just wanted to take an opportunity and ask you guys if you could please hit the like button and please hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. It's completely free. And when you do that, you're helping out the channel. It's actually a lot of work making these videos, and I get tired sometimes. Sometimes I even get a little depressed about my videos. And what really brings me up is when I get a new subscriber or I see a like. So doing those two things for me would be a great help. So do that right now. All right, let's get started with the video. All right, guys, so we can all agree that we are in the year 2021. And in 2021, in this apocalyptic future, there is a very, very big issue. The V8s are going extinct. And it's not for the reason you might think. There's actually not a social reason, not a geological reason, but a technological reason why the V8s are extinct in Mercedes-Benz for 2021, 2022. There's a chip shortage. So for those of you who have probably been living in a cave or under a rock, there is actually a chip shortage. So all cars right now, all cars, new, used, are increasing in value dramatically. That's because there's not enough chips to make these cars. And since there's a chip shortage in 2021, this 2014 G Wagon Brabus 63 is actually going up in value like crazy. Now, for those of you who might be doubting what I'm saying, why don't you just take a second and look on AutoTrader, or go look on any website with G Wagons, and you'll find there's a very big shortage of G Wagons. Who would have thought? A shortage of G Wagons. Taking a good look at all this leather and abundance and grace has really left you starstruck, hasn't it? Well, it probably did, or maybe it didn't, but here's the gist of it. For 2021, Mercedes-Benz announced that they're actually having a huge issue with supplies on chips. So all their V8 models, including the G Wagon, S-Class, and other AMG products, are currently on back order. And since they're on back order, they're allocating most, and I should pretty much say all, of the V8s for Europe for 2022. So the United States, as of right now, is not getting any V8 Mercedes-Benz. Doesn't that suck? So you're probably asking yourself at this point, that means I should go invest in a G Wagon. Absolutely. I think you should. But not just any G Wagon. I think it's a good time to go invest in an AMG. You could probably pick one of these up for anywhere from 75 to 100 and something thousand. You know, obviously the newer the better. And it will go up in value in the next 2 years. My opinion on this subject is that Mercedes-Benz is not in any rush to fill those orders. I personally believe that they've come on to the idea, like everybody else when supply doesn't meet demand, that hey, if we drag production, we could actually do less work and get paid for more units. Or I should say, actually do less work and get paid more per unit, not more units. I mean, obviously that would solve the problem, and then we wouldn't be in a deficit of G Wagons. So you're probably saying to yourself, okay, well, once the chips start coming back in, then there shouldn't be a shortage of G Wagons and we should be fine. Well, actually that's not true, because by the time that this G Wagon starts getting its chips and production starts ramping up, more than likely this car will have aged another 2 or 3 years. And as we get closer and closer to 2025, a lot of states are trying to eliminate these gas guzzlers. So what's that going to do? Well, production disappeared off the map for a few years. Then production is going to stop. And then maybe, quite possibly, these V8s might get outlawed from being produced. Who knows? Take all those things into account. And this is going to be a really good investment because it's going to become even more rare than you ever thought. And let me tell you, a G Wagon with this type of leather, suede, quilted, lovely fabric, and that awesome G Wagon motor, it just makes sense. You should go out and get one. Well, if you got the money. And by the way, this isn't financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. So the question remains, should you really invest in this Mercedes? And is everything I'm saying true? Yeah, well, you should definitely Google it. And if I'm not a worthy source or a good candidate for being a worthy source, just trust me. There's Mercedes-Benz emblems on these windshield wipers. See them? But if you can't be convinced of that, let me go ahead and turn on this engine right here. Did you hear that volcanic eruption? The treble and the bass in my voice just shook. Now I looked at some AMGs maybe about a couple of months ago, but they were V6s. So they didn't sound like this thing. This is what an AMG should sound like. Rest assured, making an investment in something like this is pretty sound. And if you don't believe me, check out the space in the back. It's a G Wagon, people. It's a G Wagon. I'm going to attach an article pretty much explaining everything I'm talking about. But if you guys are looking to make a good investment, I've got this G Wagon here for sale from my buddy. Hit me up in the DMs. I'll get you all the details about it. But it's definitely for sale. So let me know. Okay guys, that wasn't an advertisement. That's just me letting you know that this isn't my car. It's my friend's car and he's selling it. So anybody want a G Wagon V8 G63, let me know. Now look, all of this is pretty impressive. And me telling you about this potential investment is just me letting you guys know that maybe you guys should look into this. I mean, this could be a very big opportunity for you to own a piece of Mercedes-Benz history. Who wouldn't want to own a piece of Mercedes-Benz history? Seriously. I mean, check out the grumble on this car. Listen to this exhaust note. Doesn't it sound good? I don't know about you, but that kind of did it for me. Let's take a drive in this thing. Let's take this out for a spin. Don't you just love the clankety clank of the doors? Yeah, can't get that everywhere. All right, so driving the G Wagon AMG. For starters, check out that shifter. Pretty cool, huh? Pretty nice for 2014. I'd have to agree. Yeah. All right, let's get this bad boy moving. All right, so maneuvering this thing around a parking lot, I gotta say, I love the power steering. It does feel very boxy. It does feel that the vehicle's big. It doesn't really hurt your back when you're going over bumps, but you could definitely feel that it's a larger vehicle. It's a 2014 model. We've got all the lovely goodies. Suede roof, lovely steering wheel right here. Everything's all nice and proper in this car until you get on the street. Once you get on the street and you hit the gas pedal, it all changes. That's because this is the G63, and don't get me wrong, the regular G Wagon is awesome, but this thing's even better. If you're going to invest in a truck and hold on to it as a classic, this is definitely something you want to buy. I don't think it's going to let you down. It's got Mercedes-Benz prestige. It's got the numbers in your favor. And by numbers, I mean the fact that it's a G63 with limited production. That's definitely going to help the resale. Now, or in 10 years from now, mark my words. When there's no longer any V8 muscle Jeeps like this out and about because the laws have constricted on us, this G Wagon, even with 100,000 miles, is going to cost an arm and a leg. Now, I'm telling you, some of the technology in here is going to get old, but that's all right, because by the time 2035 kicks around, that'll just be all called classic. Now look, me personally, I don't think I'm going to invest in a G Wagon just because I love sports cars. But if I had all the money in the world and I wanted to make a quick investment, I'd pick one of these up. It's not bad. I mean, you definitely have a lot of perks in here. The seats are nice. It doesn't hurt your back. The gas pedals nicely apart from the brakes, so you don't hit the gas and the brake at the same time. It just feels like it's a real cruising, nice truck. It doesn't feel like a Jeep. It doesn't feel like a car. The G Wagon feels like a truck. And I can tell you right now, this thing feels like it can do pretty much anything you want to do. And I mean, with all these buttons right here, differential locking switches, and heated seats, you can go anywhere and do anything anytime you want. But let's face it, you get in a G Wagon, you want to have the status, you want to have the bling. This car is going to provide it all for you. Did I just call it a car? I didn't mean to call it a car. I just got all lavished in the luxury in here. Look at how small and puny everything looks compared to the G Wagon. So puny. Alright guys, well this is pretty much all I got for you today on this G Wagon. And I know I gave you some advice, but it's not financial advice. But if you're really thinking about making a move, get a G Wagon. There goes one right there. That's a new one. So until next time, thanks for watching. And don't forget to like and subscribe. But really, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Like seriously, like right now, like do it. Make my day. Every time I see a new subscriber, I cry. I shed a tear of joy. Because you guys are making me successful, and I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. There went like about $30 of gas right there. Seriously.